After 10 days on the run, Twisha Sharma's husband, Samarth Singh, has finally buckled under mounting pressure and public outrage. Samarth Singh has been arrested as he appeared in Jabalpur court masked, wearing sunglasses and a cap, an attempt to hide his identity. This as the advocate husband was absconding for 10 days since his wife, Twisha Sharma's death by suicide. That Twisha's parents have claimed was the direct result of mental harassment, character assassination and dowry demands by the in-laws and husband. In a big relief to the family, Madhya Pradesh High Court has also ordered a second post-mortem by an expert team from Delhi AIIMS, a demand that Twisha's family has stood strong on. The court ordered that the entire post-mortem process will be videographed and the footage will become part of the official report. The bench also directed authorities to preserve Twisha Sharma's body at AIIMS, Bhopal until the second autopsy is completed. The accused family had argued that the body should be handed over to them for final rites, claiming the rights as her in-laws, but the court prioritized preservation of evidence before any decision on cremation. Meanwhile, the High Court is also hearing the state government's challenge against anticipatory bail granted to Samarth's mother, retired Judge Giribala Singh. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta strongly opposed Giribala Singh's bail, arguing that the relief was granted hastily and without proper judicial findings. Mehta told the court that the bail was granted within a single day and alleged that the trial court ignored the accused and the influential position as a retired judge. Twisha, who married Samarth in December last year, was found dead at her Bhopal residence on May 12th under suspicious circumstances, while the accused family has claimed she was battling drug addiction. Twisha's family has consistently alleged foul play and dowry-related harassment. There's also a CBI probe that has been ordered in this case. The government finally ordering for a CBI probe amid allegations of investigating lapses. I'm being joined at this point by Sanjay Sahai, who's a retired IPS officer, Dr. Charu Valikhanna, who's an author and former member for NCW, Sonali Shah, who's an activist and advocate from Supreme Court, should be joining us shortly, and Dr. Vageshwari Deshwal, who's a professor for Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining me. Well, let me straight start with you at this point, Sanjay Sahai. How do you really look at what the developments are? You know, it's been 10 days of a husband on the run. 10 days. And he has finally, he was supposed to surrender, but has been arrested amid a whole lot of drama in the court.
See, whatever has transpired today, I think, is the best part of the investigation of the proceedings of the last 10 days. One is that's getting handed over to CBI. Second, this person has been arrested rather than surrendering and certainly not getting anticipatory bail. And third is the second autopsy on the body of Twisha Sharma. So these are the three major developments, and all the three major developments, after a lot of hue and cry and lots of running around by the deceased family, it has come to this particular pass. Now, what is very, very intriguing and very, very important is that if the local police is unable to even handle a suicide case, I think it is taking the things a bit too far that for every single case, you need a CID inquiry and a CID investigation. If the local police is incompetent even to handle cases of this nature, it speaks very low of the capabilities of the local police there. The second point, which is equally important, is that this accused has been in and around Bhopal, Jabalpur, and in that area of Madhya Pradesh, depending on whatever movements have taken place with regards to court developments, anticipatory bail, and the like. And for 10 days, if the local police who has been there investigating the case has not been able to lay hands on this particular accused while he was moving all the courts top to bottom, it speaks very low, and all that SIT formation and different scores moving all around the place to get this fellow, I don't think it cuts a lot of ice. The anticipatory bail of the mother-in-law, I think that also does not speak very high of the way it has been granted to her, and I think most of the legal arguments go against it. Because what is extremely critical and important is that she happens to be one of the critical persons as with regards to whatever has transpired in the last 5 months, ending into the alleged suicide of this young girl. And if she does not deserve custodial investigation, I'm not sure of the fact as to who deserves custodial investigation. The initial part of the investigation itself throws any number of loopholes. And those loopholes are getting highlighted both by the legal people and also by experts,
Absolutely.
both on the ground and off the ground. Now the second order, this is with the ligature mark and the belt. I think the whole thing starts from there. And what police has been talking about as an investigating agency, it has left, I think, more questions to be answered rather than questions which have been sorted out. So in the last 10 days, and the husband finally realized that he has reached the end of the road, and that is how he came to surrender, as he has been arrested. I don't know whether he has been given to police custody or not, because police custody is extremely essential for custodial interrogation and lots of things which are to be tied up in this case.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't agree with you more on this. Dr. Charuvali Khanna, in fact, let me just welcome at this point. I believe I'm also being joined by Sonali Shah. Thank you very much for joining us. But Dr. Charuvali Khanna, I mean, look at this. It's just heartbreaking. We've found visuals of, the wedding visuals of the couple that's come out. What would it take for any family to even respond with basic dignity, basic empathy,
Absolutely.
if not even a basic sense of loss? And why I'm asking you this question, what has happened today in the court? You have a family who's had to go and challenge this entire system all over again, asking yet again for a second post-mortem. And the in-laws went right out there saying just one thing: give us the right for the final rights for the daughter-in-law. When a simple demand for a post-mortem, a second post-mortem, is being opposed by them, they are going to court and saying, why do you need a Delhi team to come? Don't you have enough faith in the team that's in Madhya Pradesh? Is this what this is really about?
Absolutely. I think it's really tragic that the girl's family, Twisha's family, has got no time to grieve. I mean, here their daughter was calling them out. She was seeking help. Unfortunately, they were not able to reach in time, and she died. I don't want to use the word suicide, which continuously is being used. It's very clear-cut a dowry death, because there are ligature marks, there's this so-called nylon belt, and which has not been given to the for forensic analysis to know whether this is the actual, the weapon of crime, in the sense that did she die with, this is what led to the ligature marks. So there are many missing links. And it's absolutely strange that the in-laws, who are being accused of allegedly murdering her and harassing her, they are saying, we want to cremate her, we want the body. I mean, is it love? Is it absolutely lack of humanity? And the way the so-called mother-in-law, who is a judge, who has used all her influence, this case is a non-bailable, cognizable offense. I don't know how she got, anticipatory bail in the first hearing, which is very rightly said. And she's not even cooperating with the police. 3 notices have been given, and she said she didn't receive them, or the police said
verbal rampage. That's
Absolutely.
literally what Giribala Singh has been on. She's literally been on a verbal rampage. Dr. Vageshwari, if I can come to you at this point, the government has opposed the anticipatory bail. How do you look at this? Is it a welcome sign? Is it too late?
No, it is welcome even at this stage. See, although it is we can say that yes, there has been a little delay. Ordinarily, I am not in favor of cases that are sub judice to be discussed on the public platform. But
Absolutely.
it is precisely cases like these due to which we have to rely on media trials. Had it not been for the immense pressure that has been mounted on the state agencies by programs such as these, I'm sure nobody would have objected to Samarth's running away, to the mother-in-law's getting anticipatory bail. The woman, she is in a position of power. She had somehow managed the system. Now what we are trying to do is we are trying to salvage the situation by shifting the case to CBI. Okay. Now this is a case wherein, see, as it is when we are talking about no direct proofs of dowry and all being there, the fact remains that a young life has been lost in suspicious circumstances. It's a non-natural death within 7 years of her marriage, and there is clear proof that the woman was not happy. Now, who's responsible for that? Look at the mother-in-law making all sorts of statements about the girl's character, about the girl not watering plants, not washing tulsi plant, and I mean all sorts of random things. She doesn't want a baby. I mean, maybe she's a drug addict. Maybe she's she's a girl of immoral character, and God knows what. I mean, we need restraining orders. How can this woman be allowed to go on, as you rightly described, as verbal rampage? I mean, no holds barred. She's just saying whatever is coming to her mind. No respect, no dignity for a life that has been lost. And the husband, he was just running away, no responsibility whatsoever. He has lost his wife. Now, all this, of course, it raises a lot of suspicions. Why did Twisha kill herself? If she had mental issues, why? I mean, there was never any discussion about her mental issues. Why did this boy marry this girl if she had mental health issues in the first place? Within 5 months, they have created such circumstances that the woman has been found dead. It might be a case of constructive homicide, that is suicide. It might be a case wherein she was compelled to kill herself. And I will not even rule out that maybe they have fabricated the evidence.
No, that's the whole point. The manner in which this entire investigation has taken place, and that CBI is now going to be looking into it. But the manner in which what seems to be a very botched up case till now, if that's the word I really can use, where is the sense of justice? And for a family to be able to press on with their singular demand of a second autopsy for days in and day out, and to finally be given that. Dr. Vageshwari, you also made a point about how you're opposed to media trial. In fact, while we are discussing this, I think one thing I'm very clear is we are not doing a media trial. I'm not indicting anybody here on the show. That's not what we are doing. But one thing that as a media we will be doing is ensure that cases such as this get the focus of what it is required, the accountability and speaking truth to power, holding people responsible. And I think this is what the entire discussion is about. Sonali Shah, if I can get you in at this point, CBI now finally comes in. A second post-mortem has finally been announced. But is there a point of returning back to the course of due justice?
See, at this juncture where it has been already close to 10 days since her death, and we already have the information that her body is decomposing, we can only be hopeful, because we actually do not know what is the current status of body as of now. We can only be hopeful that the second post-mortem will be done fairly, and we will have some more insights of the situations and circumstances under which she lost her life. Along with that, the kind of injuries that were there on her body, linking it to the ligature marks because it was missing in the first post-mortem report. Even the allegations that is being levied pertaining to her being taking schizophrenia drugs. If there was drugs she was taking, it would be evident in the toxic samples of her blood samples. So I'm really hopeful that the team from Delhi will be able to fill in the gaps in the investigation that we have seen right now. But again, it is a matter of fact that it's been 10 days to her death and her body is decomposing, which is also a fact to be kept in mind.
I can't agree with you more on this. In fact, Sanjay Sahai, if I can get back to you, when we are talking about this entire investigation, an important part of this is now Samarth. And look at what's unfolded in the court today. There are allegations that he was given a VIP treatment. We don't really know the in and outs of that. We will not be able to get to that. But look at his attempt of hiding his face. Masked, wearing his sunglasses, wearing a cap. His legal license for now has been suspended. He will not be able to practice. But with the way this influence has been used, I think no one else in such a high-profile case would have been able to be on the run for 11 days, for 10 days. That would have been practically impossible. For him to have managed to do that for such a long time, for Giribala Singh to be able to say the way, whatever she has said for the last few days, are big concerns.
See, I'm just not able to understand as to how this fellow was able to move around wherever he did. In last 10 days, I have absolutely no idea. And I think I cut a very sorry figure to come from that fraternity who has not been able to arrest a person of this nature. He is not any gangster or some fellow or running an organized crime nexus or who is outside this country. So I just fail to understand as to why and how this has happened. And I will not like to connect those 46 calls or whatever to the anticipatory bail of Giribala Singh and whether those things are getting connected or not connected.
Okay, fair enough. Even if you don't get into that directly.
I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it. Not directly, but I'm getting into it. Now I'm getting into it in a much serious manner. And I'm not able to understand if she was a district judge or whatever she was. I think the status of a district judge is so strong and so huge and so influential that you can play around with the state government and the central government and the media in this manner. And if the people at that level, and I don't consider it as a very high level, and people at that level, if they are able to influence the investigation in the manner which presumably seems to have happened, I think it's a very, very dangerous and ominous sign for this nation, which means literally anybody and everybody, from a councillor to whosoever, to a minister's son, can play around with the criminal justice system with impunity, which is just unimaginable. With regards to this accused putting a mask and all that, I don't think that should have been allowed in any case. His identity is not to be kept confidential or anything of that nature. He has committed a crime. Let his face be seen all around the place. So end to end, if you see, why the doctors are being left outside of scrutiny? Do the doctors don't know how to conduct a post-mortem? Do the doctors don't know that they need the weapon? See, in every case, you go back to lots of cases. I will not like to name these cases. And it is the post-mortem which has created the nuisance. If these doctors don't know how to conduct a post-mortem, they might as well not be there. So end to end, you see, police is not able to arrest the person. You're not able to write a proper FIR. You're not able to get the CCTV. You're not able to connect digital evidence. You're not able to arrest this person. The person gets anticipatory bail. Why it is 10 days? Police should have fought it out long time back. Do you need 10 days to get back to the court and tell that this is the nature of things which Giribala Singh is doing? She has not been reciprocating. She has not been cooperating. And with regards to the influence part, I am literally just amazed that how this can happen. And what will CBI do today? Now you have to retrace 11 days back, 10 or 11 days back. And there are lots of things which have gone out of the way. But only the positive part is, whatever I can understand of this case from the public domain, I am 100% confident that there is enough and sufficient evidence to prove a dowry death case, and very, very clear-cut evidence which cannot be negated. And that should basically nail the case. That is my understanding of this. Until unless they come with the schizophrenia part of it, how much of that legally holds good, I am not aware of it. Because you talk of legal insanity, sometimes it holds good, sometimes it doesn't hold. This condition, how much it will hold good, it is left for the defense to prove. But if you have a reasonable set of prosecutors, I think this is a close and shut case, and the CBI should basically charge it the case in a matter of another 10 to 15 days. First is they should pick up the case as early as possible.
I think, Sanjay, so I still am being very skeptical. You may call me a skeptic here, but I'm being very skeptical. I do not think this is going to be an easy and shut case. Dr. Charuvali Khanna, do you see this as an easy shut? I don't, because the way things have played out, there are more loopholes than answers.
See, there's
These are created loopholes.
Sorry, the finger of suspicion is there. But unfortunately, the CBI is coming too late. And the scene of crime, which is what has taken place on the steps and then the terrace of the balcony where apparently the crime has taken place, they must have wiped it out. And as far as the mother-in-law is concerned, they say that the police, this is what I just want to, concur with what Mr. Sahai said, that a judge, a part of the judiciary, has manipulated the whole system, not only for herself getting bail, but also the police. The police is saying that there were she didn't come and had to serve the notice 3 times. And once she was not there to receive it, once it was the wrong address. Here, this lady is going to every channel and giving her interview, and the police is not able to serve the notice to her. I mean, it's shocking. She's obviously manipulated. I mean, how powerful these people can be. People in positions of power can get away with anything, including murder. And this is raising serious questions about our trust and faith in institutions like the judiciary, the police, the executive, the legislatures. And I think that's a very, very disturbing sign for a democracy like our country.
Right. Right. In fact, if I can very quickly just get in Sonali Shah. Sonali, one of the angles that's come down to right now is the court having to order preservation of the body. It's ironical. It's ironical that one, the police will write to the parents, please take back the body. At a time when the parents are asking for a second post-mortem, they are fighting and they are running pillar to post, asking for a second post-mortem. And instead of the police trying to figure out ways of helping the families, are saying, please take back the body because it's decomposing. And it's a court that has had to intervene and say, please ensure that the body is preserved. But this is coming after 10 days. You'll have to unmute yourself, ma'am.
This is what is power play. Ms. Kirbala Singh, being from the judiciary, had so heavily influenced the entire system that the entire procedure has been flouted. Ideally, the moment the police got an information about the death of a woman who has died in her matrimonial home within 7 years of marriage, in susceptible circumstances, ideally an FIR should be registered immediately. The crime scene, the place where the offense was committed, that area should be immediately sealed. If you see, Ms. Kirbala Singh is still living in that same home. The crime scene that we are talking about, she's living in that home. The morning's footage is of her in her home's balcony. So technically, we have given access to the accused of the crime scene. Then it takes 3 to 4 days for the FIR to get registered, and it gets registered only after Kirbala Singh gets an anticipatory bail and Samarth Singh gets absconding. So ideally, this all shouldn't have happened. The police has enough power to arrest the accused in such circumstances, especially where the death has happened, and there is conversation wherein the circumstances under which the girl was living is evident. Ideally, the parents shouldn't have ended up fighting so many battles. And honestly,
Absolutely.
our state police should be well equipped in handling such cases. Why did we even have to demand for a CBI? Why couldn't the police at the first hand collect evidences in the proper manner, sent the belt
This is
along with the postmortem?
just like Mr. Sahai said, this is a classic case where every aspect of the investigation and every aspect of the system has collapsed. Sir, you want to say something very quickly, and then I want to take the last comment from Dr. Vageshwari. Yes.
One line I'll add. If the state government does not have faith in its own police, I think we have reached a day from where it is very difficult to resurrect.
Sir, I don't know how to respond to that, because it is very clearly evident that the police has completely botched up. The police has failed beyond all levels, whether it be the police, whether it be, I mean, we are very cautious when we talk about the legal systems, but just the way senior IPS officers like you, senior legal luminaries have been pointing out that, listen, it's even a legal, just the haste at which this bail was given. In fact, Dr. Vageshwari, let's just end with this. The government seems to now pull in the plugs. The government has opposed the anticipatory bail. In fact, you had the SG, Tushar Mehta, say just one thing, and that is the bail was given without looking into anything. What does that even mean?
See, that is a very, very positive development with Tushar Mehta ji stepping in. See, we all know it's a fact. On the face of it, we all know that investigation has been compromised. And Samarth, absconding for 10 days, we have to understand the position of privilege that where he is coming from. If the mother could manage an anticipatory bail, I mean, of course, the boy also had connections. He had people who had that kind of what we call as a privileged positions that this boy could evade arrest. I mean, it will get murkier if we dig in deeper. But what is positive now and why I am hopeful is, although in normal criminal cases we need to establish guilt of accused person beyond reasonable doubt, but this is a clear-cut case of abetment of suicide for which we have a presumption as to abetment of suicide which is there in Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam.
Absolutely.
So the prosecution would have to discharge only the initial burden. Beyond that, it is going to shift on to the accused person. And legal insanity, I mean, it's not easy to establish legal insanity. Let them say whatever they want to say. How would they establish the records and all from where it can be proven that yes, this girl was actually suffering from some problems, and that problem that prevailed at the time of her death. So I am very, very hopeful. Today has been a very positive day.
After a very long time, I think a lot of things that the family really wanted has at least now begun, but we can't even possibly at this point say that the battle is far from over, because the battle has just begun. The battle has just begun. There's some pieces that seem to have fallen in place for a puzzle that has more pieces lost than has it put together.